After previewing England and Pakistan, the two finalists of the previous 2022 T20 World Cup edition, it's now time to focus on India's nightmare. Not the Indian team, the nightmare of the Indian cricket team. The men in yellow. 2023 World Test champions, 2023 ODI World Cup champions, both times they achieved it by beating India. And they also won the Under 19 World Cup also to complete the set that particular year.
Correct.
Now the Australian team, they are going in batches at this point. Well, they also had the IPL hangover like India.
Yeah.
They played two warm-up games. Used Andrew McDonald, used Brad Hodge as their subfielders.
An undermanned Australian cricket team.
George Bailey was also there.
Bailey felt
Chairman
like
of selectors.
2013 vibes. It gave me that. Andrew McDonald is there. George Bailey is there. 2009-13. Okay. Now the rest of the IPL stars have come, and Australia are in a rather okayish group. They play Oman, they play England. B1, B2, they are the seeds. B1 is England, B2 is Australia. Mitch Marsh is the captain. So, the first straight up question is, before we get into the playing 11s, we are going to discuss the playing 11s of the Australians at this point in time. Do you see
Why
them?
do you say it with that accent?
Australians, in their accent. Do you see them as the title contenders, Australia? Can they continue their golden ICC run?
You're talking about an ICC tournament. There can't be a scenario where you don't think of Australia being contenders. I can't remember a single tournament that's taken place in the last decade and a half, rather this whole century for that matter, since the start of the century, that you could say at the start of a tournament that Australia aren't the favourites or Australia aren't the heavyweights. We remember what happened in the first decade of this century, the Australian domination that we continue to speak of. Yep. They were a little slow to arrive in the T20 format to announce themselves. Let's say they underwhelmed to begin with in the opening few editions. But since then, and what happened in 2021, then what we saw them do in 2022, yes, it was England who won ultimately. And it was up against Pakistan that England won that match. But Australia, in the last few editions, have shown what they can do in this format as well. It took them time, let's admit that it took them time to stamp their legacy or to stamp their authority in this particular edition of ICC competitions, but they're there. Let's admit that they are well and truly there. So are they contenders for me? Absolutely.
So I think Australia, to begin with, as Harshad rightly pinpointed, that they have been slow starters in the shortest format of the game. And even if you look at their title winning campaign in the UAE, I think the conditions and the toss thing really favored them a lot. Let's just be very honest about it, because this was one of the most important factors that led to Australia having a good campaign and even going on to have some individual brilliances. But then you look at their overall performances. I think starting from 2007 they were knocked out in the semi-finals. 2009 it was in the league stage, group stage itself. In 2010 I think they had their best performance irrespective of the condition and the toss. They reached the finals before losing to eventual champions England. Then in 2012 they reached the semi-finals before losing to West Indies. They also had a good campaign there because they're good I think opening combination. Then George Bailey also played well. Shane Watson I think was the man of the tournament.
Even David Warner played very well.
Yes, and even I think they were responsible for knocking India out of the tournament. India went on to win 4 matches out of 5, lost just 1. It was by a big margin, and it came against Australia only.
Yeah.
Then in 2014, I think it was once again the league stage. 2016 league stage. I think that Virat Kohli brilliance in Mohali. And then 2021, as we discussed, I think the champions. And 2022, it was just that one game that knocked them out of the competition. That heavy loss and a couple of rained off matches also. Yeah. If you look at the whole, I think their overall performance in the T20 World Cups, it's been like pretty much underwhelming, apart from whatever help or luck they had on their side in 2021. So but going by their reputation, they're obviously title contenders to begin with. And one thing that I really like about their team combination is that they have stuck to the experience. They stuck to the players who can really soak up the pressure. They haven't really.
I know you were a Warner fan.
I'm a big Warner fan, actually. I am. Yeah, but I think if you look at the team combination or maybe the 15 that they have, I, in a way, respect some of the decisions that they have made, because the way a certain Jake Fraser-McGurk played, or way a certain Matt Short has played, I think in the recent few matches for Australia, in the bilateral series, I would say, against the West Indies and all, I think it's a good decision to not, take that hush and rush decision and stick to the players who have actually not just won you matches, but won you tournaments also. So yeah, I think to begin with, obviously they are title contenders, but then it's a crazy format. It's something that we have discussed when
It's
we have,
a lottery.
It's a crazy format. It was a crazy win against Pakistan as well in 2021 that we saw them secure. And it is in fact a few match winners from that edition who continue to be there in the squad as well. And since we are building up to, and the agenda at hand is to arrive at their 11, let's first show you the 15 that Australia have gone with. There are teams that have bigger bench, by the way, bigger bench strength. Just there are 2 reserves for the Australian team in Jake Fraser-McGurk and Matt Short. But otherwise, let's quickly just go through the 15 that they've named. And Siddharth, my dear friend, to the right, I'm surrounded by Siddharths in fact right now, would be the more delighted one over here to see David Warner named in the 15. But besides David Warner, Mitch Marsh is right up there as the captain of the side. Ashton Agar, somebody who opened, by the way, in that one warm-up match that we saw a couple of days back. Pat Cummins, Tim David, Nathan Ellis, Cam Green, Josh Hazelwood, Travis Head, the finalist of the recently concluded IPL 2024. Then there's Josh English, Glenn Maxwell, Mitch Starc, Marcus Stoinis, Matthew Wade, David Warner, we already named, and then there is Adam Zampa.
I mean, that is a potent team. So we had discussed India's headaches, right, in the IPL. They are not in good form. Travis Head, good form. Green, okayish form. Warner, not in form. Maxwell, not at all in form.
He's even coming off an injury, David Warner.
Yes. Warner and Maxwell are your only 2 problems that are there from the IPL. But when they put on that golden green jersey, they transform into a
different beast altogether.
Stoinis played one good knock.
In fact, his good knock was also the highest score that you saw in IPL 2024.
Exactly.
His score of 124.
Yep.
That's a knock against CSK. Chepauk.
Yeah. Tim David also didn't have a good run, by the way, with Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
He had a
below average.
He had a good series against New Zealand, though. Then
February.
Yes. That was when 28 of 8 without any drama, without any fuzz. He did it so easily, unlike the Melbourne one. So that is why it was so simple.
And you speak of him, both Tim David, Glenn Maxwell were very, very disappointing. You can't name a single innings, by the way, for the both of them that was worth remembering.
I do remember one knock from Glenn Maxwell.
The one that he lasted just the one ball?
Eliminator. Played that horrible shot.
Horrible shot, gets caught at long on.
That's the only one.
Yeah,
there's this one player who has been backed by the former Australia captain Tim Paine to start ahead of a certain Pat Cummins or Josh Hazelwood.
Nathan Ellis.
Nathan Ellis.
Although
because he provides that balance in terms of cutters or the variations that he has, and that's why Tim Paine wants him to play ahead of a certain, maybe a Cummins or a Hazelwood. But you can't drop Cummins.
4 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 5. Okay, came against Namibia. Big deal. But okay. But Hazelwood.
A spell is a spell.
A spell is a
spell. No matter the opposition.
Plus he did well against New Zealand also, Hazelwood.
Yeah.
Mitch Starc, 24.75 crores, gave you that impact. Pat Cummins, as the captain of Sunrisers Hyderabad, also chipped in some good performances, by the way. But I think my only difference maker in this team didn't play the IPL, but has been part of major Australia wins when you look at it, Adam Zampa. Take away Zampa's contributions in 2021. The reason why Australia won that was because of Zampa's brilliance. And even in the 2023 World Cup, after that slow start, he kind of prospered. Because Australia, if you look at it, they're not going to look at Oman, Namibia and Scotland. They're in a pretty easy group. So that's why I would say it's kind of a settled 11 that they would want to play.
This is Group B, huh?
This is Group B. So England are B1, Australia are B2.
I think for me, all groups are crazy groups. You know, I've
No,
seen
this is the
I've
most
seen
easiest
crazy
of the
things
lot.
happening, like Namibia defeating Sri Lanka.
No. Look, your Group A is tricky. Your Group D is tricky. Because Group D has
D
got
is very tricky.
Sri
D is
Lanka,
very
South
tricky.
Africa,
Netherlands. Yes.
Yes.
D is very tricky.
In A, you got India,
And I think the other one's Nepal.
Nepal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Nepal. The other group, A, which I'm talking about, has India, Pakistan, Ireland, and USA. USA has also been in good form heading into this. They beat Bangladesh 2-1. They beat Canada 4-0.
So they have won 6 of their
But
previous
that's not
70
saying much, yaar. Let's admit it.
I know,
Group
but
A,
it's
there's
tricky.
straightforward two
Yeah.
that you can name from that group. As far as Group B is concerned, there also straightforward two teams, the two best seeded teams from both A and B.
But we will focus
Group
on
of-
that other
yes.
discussion a bit later.
Yeah.
So let's immediately get to the playing 11, folks, because
Yeah.
I think for Australia we won't have that much of a debate. Although Tim Payne would want us to have it.
There's actually a debate there, but the only thing is that one of the persons involved in the debate finds himself in the reserve squad.
Yes.
I mean, we were all wondering, man, if Travis had opened.
And that would have been an interesting debate whether Siddharth Gulati would then have wanted to play the youngster and Jake Fraser McGurk in the 11 or have the experience his favorite David Warner.
See, he's in the travelling reserves, okay? So that's why
Yeah.
let's, unfortunately or fortunately for other opponents, exclude a Jake Fraser McGurk because
Yeah.
he can't play unless there's an injury to
Yeah.
one. So Travis Head and David Warner, I don't
Your
see
sure
any
shot
kind
openers.
of debate in that.
Absolutely.
So your openers are Travis Head and David Warner, but we would have so liked to
No-brainer.
have.
But unless you want to have a left-right combination, so do you see Mitchell Marsh opening in
I
the
don't
ahead of any of
see
the
that
others?
happening.
But
Because
I think
Green did open
might,
in the India series.
Yeah, but Green might open in case
That
there is an
was
injury.
a long time back as well, yeah.
Yeah.
On current form,
Scored a
these,
century also,
yeah.
but
See, Travis Head and David Warner will have to open because then if you want a left hand, right hand, don't play a Warner.
Yeah.
Open with a Marsh, okay? Then that is the way you look at it.
But the fact that a Marsh, who's in the twilight of his career, test announcement already done, availability made clear or expressed as far as CT25 is concerned, but you're looking past a David Warner. The fact that he's been named in the 15 means that he's actually playing.
Yeah.
Is his fitness fine, Mitchell
Yeah,
Marsh?
he's-
Because he had given an update on his fitness that he's still...
I think he might not be fit to bowl, but he's fit to
Yes,
bat.
Marsh, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's fit to bat.
It'll take some time. He's fit to bat. I think in that warm-up match as well, he didn't bowl at all.
Yeah, he did. So, number 3 will
Marsh.
be
Mitchell
Mitchell
Marsh.
Marsh.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitchell Marsh is your captain.
Yes.
And that's how it will be. Then we look at number 4.
For me, it
Stoynes.
is Glenn Maxwell.
Stoynes or Maxwell? See, the problem is I was trying to come up with the 11 for them. The thing is, they've got very good middle order batters.
Yeah.
Because remember, what you're doing over here is you're because there's a Cam Green as well in the ranks. What this does is, of course, you'll now have to see who bats ahead of the other. Does a Glenn Maxwell bat ahead of a Stoynes, or the other way around? What that entails is that Cam Green gets shifted to number 6 at least.
Yeah.
At
Absolutely.
least. Now, at 6-7, you're usually expecting a finisher. By the way, till 6-7, then you don't get your wicket keeper as well.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. But we'll see. Let's see. So 4-5 will be.
Okay, so Sid, what was your pick?
My pick is Glenn Maxwell for 4.
Your pick? You want a Stoynes?
4-5 Stoynes, Maxwell, I'm fine.
Okay, so I will say a Glenn Maxwell is my number 4.
Okay.
Maxwell is my number 4.
Okay.
And Marcus Stoynes is your number 5.
5.
Cool.
Because even in the 2021
Yeah.
T20 World Cup, he did bat in that position also.
Now remember, 5 batters done.
Your 6th is going to be Cameron Green.
Okay,
You're
but I have a
looking-
quick question for you. Not much of a debate here, but just a quick answer. Let's assume that Australia are 20 for 3 after 4 overs. Would you promote a certain number 6 or a number 7, whoever it is, up the order? Like,
Yes.
let's just say, would you promote a Matthew Wade to number 5 then? Just
Yes,
a quick,
they have
quick
a
question.
No, I'll have. You're saying 20 for 3. What 20 for 4?
20 for 3 after 4 overs.
I would like somebody like a Cam Green then to be.
I would pick a Green.
Green. Not a Maxwell for sure. Also 3.
Because by 3,
Maybe
if you
Maxwell
look
could
at
be
it,
gone.
Maxwell might be your 3rd.
Yeah, could be your 2
never
openers
know.
and
Yeah,
one of the
Maxwell.
middle order batters.
But
Yeah.
in
Could
that
be a number
situation,
3
Cam
also,
Green
yeah.
is the answer.
Okay.
Same, Green. So,
Then at number 6, is it Tim David or Cameron Green?
Whoa, that's the debate.
That's the call here actually. Because see, both of them can bowl, but Cameron Green is a better bowler.
Better bowler.
Tim David, on current form, you can say that he's not that as effective as a Cameron Green, but we all know
Cam
what
Green
he's
has to
capable
be
of.
starting for the simple reason he becomes your pace bowling all-rounder.
Unless if you take a Green, don't include a Stoinis player David. Green at 5, David at 6. That's the only way, because see, Stoinis and Green are basically two same, if you look at it, operators. Green is an express pace bowler, Stoinis is not so much of a express pace bowler.
But then what would be the rationale behind dropping an experienced Marcus Stoinis for Cameron
Also,
Green?
Stoinis and West Indian slow wickets, if they are to be slow, becomes a more handy option.
And mind you, Stoinis can also open the bowling if you want that variation, just to have
David
that
doesn't
surprise
start.
factor.
David doesn't start.
The problem then is, there's no finisher for this team then.
That's the problem.
Right now, you're done with 5, we're struggling to find a finisher, we're struggling to find a wicket-keeper batter also, by the way.
Yep.
So would you rather have a Matthew Wade at 4 or 5 and then shift Glenn
There is
Maxwell
Josh
to 6
Inglis
or 7?
also.
Because he is your finisher then.
There is Inglis also.
There is Inglis.
Yeah, there's Josh English also.
Inglis and Wade. So now your problem is, see, what I look at it is, my only solution is if I want a finisher and a wicketkeeper bat to bat in the same position, I can't include a Stoinis. Because I will get a Green in at 5, okay. I'll get a Tim David at 6, okay. I'll get a Matthew Wade / Inglis at 7.
Let's do this as you say. So we'll do Marcus Stoinis / Cam Green.
Yeah.
For now.
Green.
Then we can see. We can do voting then.
Yep. Green. Okay.
Yeah. And
And
then
6.
Josh English?
No,
Tim David.
Tim David. Okay, Tim David.
Tim David.
And now we have to have at number 7 a wicketkeeper back.
Matthew Wade.
Wade.
Probably Wade, because see, Inglis you have to bat him between 3 and 5. I was looking at his batting positions. He's done better batting at number 3, but this side he can't fit in at number 3. Number 5 he's batted recently, but
Wade has a better record in the West Indies,
But
plus
he
a good
can-
player of spin.
Yeah, but Josh English can fit in at number 4, assuming you want to play Glenn Maxwell as a finisher. Because
do that?
Josh English also had 100 against India in that T20
yes,
series last year.
Visakhapatnam.
Vizag, yeah.
But Maxwell also had 100.
Exactly. At Barsabara, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8, we'll get to the Stoinis Green debate a bit later, but 8 is Agar.
Pat
Has to be.
Cummins.
Pat Cummins.
Pat Cummins.
At 8.
Eight,
Agar at number 9.
There's
So
no space
basically
for
then you
Zampa
are
then.
dropping
No, Zampa is my number 11.
so then you're dropping Josh Hazelwood.
I'm picking a Stark, I'm
Okay.
picking a Zampa.
So you're dropping Josh Hazelwood for a spinner.
Yes.
And what's basically the reason behind for that? Because you want to strengthen your batting till maybe you want to bat deep.
You got batting till number 10 here. Number 10 bats because you got
So
a
eight,
Agar.
9 is Agar, 10 is Stark.
Okay, but for me,
Oof.
okay, I disagree from both of you here. The kind of willy customer that a certain Josh Hazelwood is, I would still pick him ahead of an Ashton Agar.
But you just, before the start, you had said that Josh Hazelwood can be dropped because Nathan Ellis could come in.
That is something that a Tim Payne said. I did not say that.
But you highlighted that point.
Yeah, I highlighted that.
Yeah.
Just to put things into context for the discussion. For me, Josh Hazelwood starts.
In place of whom?
Ashton Agar.
No Agar.
No, I would have three.
You are playing only one spinner.
I'm playing Glenn Maxwell as the second
Yes,
spinner.
that is another
Glenn
thing.
Maxwell is actually
I am
bowling
expecting,
consistently.
yes, I am expecting.
Left armer.
Yes.
Left arm spinners do well in the West
See, he
Indies.
can play as the tournament progresses.
See, this is again going to be like much like the India scenario. I don't think Chahal and Kuldeep are playing together all the time.
Yeah.
But there could be scenarios that you need to play the two of them also if the wickets indeed end up being slow. So in that scenario, I think Australia will also be naming two out and out spinners in Zampa and Agar. Otherwise, one of them plays and you expect Maxwell to be giving you 3 overs.
Yeah.
2 to 3 overs.
Okay, so at number 9, I think I have been outvoted. So at number 9 is a Ashton Agar. No,
9.
And number 9 is Mitchell Stark.
Mitchell Stark.
Yes.
Okay, Mitchell
Yeah.
Stark. Number 10 is
Adam Zampa.
Number 11 is Josh Hazelwood.
Josh Hazelwood.
Right?
So now the point of discussion remains for the number 5.
Australia aren't playing in USA at all, I believe. Or are they?
No, they are playing in Barbados.
Huh.
Two games. Then Pawan can just open up and see what is schedule for Australia. I think you had opened that, right? Group fixtures. I think they are playing in Barbados, Antigua, Barbuda, and Saint Lucia.
They're not playing in the US at all.
Yeah.
Wow! Now looking at the schedule that Australia have, they have got a big advantage.
Yeah.
India are coming from
Yes.
US to the West Indies.
Yes.
Great.
India are playing all the group matches in the States.
USA.
Then for the Super 8s, they're here.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have to wrap it up as soon as possible. And you got Josh Hazelwood. Okay. So you got 3 pacers. You've got 1 spinner in Zampa, leg spinner, and Maxwell as your other one. Even a Travis Head can be an option.
So no, you got a Green as well, na? Did you count Green?
Yeah,
a fourth bowling option in Green. By the way, Green can give you 4 overs, proper 4 overs. I'm saying, okay, even if you were to assume that he gives you 2, you rely on Maxwell to give you the other 2. So that's 4 overs done over there. Then you got the 4 overs of Cummins, 4 of Stark, 4 of Zampa, 4 of Hazelwood. That's done.
Yeah. So then if you put Green as your 4 over bowlers, then Stoinis can't play.
See, Stoinis can give you 2 as well.
How many bowling options are you going to give?
But playing both of them together, I agree with you. That's not possible. That can only happen. Then you have to take Tim David out.
Yeah, but you can't get a David out because he's your finisher.
Yeah, and 6 might be too late for both. Stoinis and Green.
Exactly.
How often have we seen them finish?
So, okay, let's vote on the one debate that is there, Stoinis or Green. Sid, what's your vote?
I would go with the experience of Stoinis.
I'm going with Green for greater balance that he offers.
On current form, Green. I'll have to go with Green. So, your number 5, Pawan, Green.
Cameron Green. You can remove Marcus Stoinis.
You can remove Marcus.
See, Stoinis is dibbly-dobblies at best, we know.
If Green is unfit, then Stoinis comes in. That is the only way possible. Then. So, this is our ideal likely playing 11 for the T20 World Cup that Australia are feeling. So, let's go over it. Travis Head, David Warner, no questions at all. Mitchell Marsh is no-brainer. Glenn Maxwell, Cameron Green, Tim David, Matthew Wade.
As the keeper.
But yeah, English sitting out, tough decision.
Yes.
Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, that deadly trio, along with Adam Zampa. But I got outvoted. I would have added an Ashton Agar in it.
In place of a seam bowler, you suggested.
In place of a seam bowler. So that's the thing. Because Green is already there. Cummins, if maybe a Cummins might sit out. Stark starts, Hazelwood starts. That's the way you look at it.
By the way, we forgot, even Travis Head can give you a few overs.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mentioned
Yes.
Head is off spinner.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you look at it, that
have around 7 to 8 overs.
Exactly, you can have 7 to 8 overs of spin without compromising on your pace. If you are not having somebody like an Agar in your side, then I can rely on 2 overs from Head, 2 from Maxwell, and then 4 proper overs from a Zampa.
Yes.
So
And Tim David also bowled his full 4 overs against West Indies in the warm-up game.
So you can have 8 overs at least.
Yep. So, they look a well-rounded side, Australia. That's why they are one of the contenders. So, do you agree with the playing 11 that we have picked for the T20 World Cup for the Aussies? Can they indeed make it second T20 World Cup and continue the golden run? Or can some of the other names who we left out, can they fit in? For example, Nathan Ellis, can he fit in? Can an Inglis fit in? You can write to us in the comments below. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this debate about Australia's playing 11. From me, Sid, and Harshit, it's bye-bye. And don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.